Today I'm going to be adding a couple of light fixtures to an existing light switch inside my crawl space. Currently I only have one light down here, down that way near the furnace. Here's the existing toggle switch that controls that light. I will be using this to grab power from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed electrician, so this entire video will be for entertainment purposes only. Just me doing a little upgrade to my crawl space. Throughout this crawl space, all the electrical was ran on the bottom of these floor joists. According to the current NEC code 334.115, this is not legal. You can read up more on that code if you want to. I will be following the rules in 334.115 to run the wire through these floor joists by drilling a hole. For more information on bored holes, check out article 300.4a in the NEC. If you don't want to drill holes through joists, you could also use a raceway, which is like a piece of board that will go under the floor joist, and then you could hammer the NM cable to that. The NM cable I'm using is going to be 12-2, which is all I have on hand, so that's why I'm using it. Here are the light fixtures I'm going to be installing. They are the cheapest kind. They come with a receptacle, but that's just fine for what I need down here in the crawl space. This is the box I'll be using to mount the light fixture on. I'm going to mount my first light box right here at the entrance. Since this is where I'll be getting power from, I want to give myself, need at least 6 inches, but I'm going to go more towards 10 just so I have it. I can always cut it if I need it. And then I'm going to do about the same for this box. These boxes have push-in tabs that you can push in to run your NM wire. I'll be securing this wire to the floor joist no less than 12 inches from the entry point of the box per 334.30. I want to leave no less than 1/4 inch of sheathing inside of this box. Now I'm going to be drilling holes through these floor joists all the way down to the next place where I'm going to be installing a light fixture. Also, don't want to go drilling at this blind. You can see there's an electrical cord and a doorbell cord on the other side of this floor joist. So I'm going to drill from this side so I know that I'm not going to hit that electrical cord. All right, I've arrived at the spot where I want to put my second light fixture. So with my holes drilled, now I just run my non-metallic wire through the bored holes that I made through the floor joist. All right, made it to the box. Now it's time to put the light fixture inside of the box. Gold terminal is going to be where our black wire goes, or the hot wire. It's not hot right now, obviously. I haven't hooked anything up yet. Whenever hooking up this type of light fixture, be conscious on where this ground wire is. If this comes in contact with this gold screw, it will cause arcing, trip the breaker, and it's just not going to work. It could also cause fires and stuff. Before I push this all the way up, I'm going to start the thread of just one screw on the far one. thread in my second screw. Just definitely don't want to over tighten these ceramic light fixtures. I've got this light fixture secured. I give it a little tug just to make sure it doesn't move. Now let's head on back to our starting point. Make sure I have plenty of wire to work with. I know I used way too much, but that's all right. Now I need to join these wires together and also make a pigtail to go to the light. So I've got that extra wire that I just cut, which I'm going to use. I'm going to put my whites together, put my grounds together, and put my hots together. Now I'm just twisting them together with the lineman pliers because I don't want this connection to come loose. Now just throw some wire nuts on these connections that I made. Now I'm going to bend these and shove them up here in this box. Got all those hooked up, but not too tight. All hooked up. One last step is to give this series of wire and fixtures some power. And this is going to be our power source. So I have to secure the breaker to this circuit. All right, it's really dark in here now. Test on a live wire. Then I go to the wire that I'm working on. It's dead. I'm confident. I'm going to remove this cover. I should have thought about this, but I didn't. This is not a neutral wire. Just because it's white doesn't make it a neutral wire. This is the hot wire, and it goes all the way back there. It goes back to the light. So there's no neutral here. I need a way to feed power to the new wires that I just ran. And to do that, I'm actually going to have to go to that light fixture and wire it so hot and neutral are coming into this box. And I'm just going to have to get power from somewhere else. There's a junction box right here. I got to look on my breaker panel to see where that goes. But it looks like I'm just going to grab power from this junction box back here, and then I can figure out how I'm going to wire this. These are the problems that I always run into. I'm sure other homeowners run into when you're trying to do a simple project. That's why something like this, it's probably best to call an electrician if you're not sure. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put this hot, this neutral, and this hot on the light fixture, and I'm going to wire this hot and this neutral together. So basically what I'm doing is just changing the circuit from which this light is going to be fed. So I've completely taken this light fixture out of the circuit, and I've got my neutral hooked up to the neutral lug and the hot hooked up to the hot and the ground to the ground. Now I'm just going to install this cover. This junction box actually goes to the outdoor light, which is about 5 feet behind me, so this actually works out good. I did do my due diligence. It's the same breaker size, which is a 15 amp, so it's not like I'm making any major changes here. This is now going to be my line voltage. The wire I ran earlier and this is going to be my load. So that's going to have to be on the other side of this toggle switch, which I don't think I'm going to reuse because it's been backstabbed. I believe these lose a little functionality once you remove the wire. Correct me if I'm wrong, but either way, I got an occupancy sensor that I'm going to be putting in instead of this toggle switch. I'm also just going to replace this box because I don't like how these knockouts are. And I've got the boxes. I bought the boxes for this project, so why not? So all the neutrals will get wired together and all of the grounds will get wired together. I've got all my grounds connected, I've got all my neutrals connected. I've got my load line, which is red right here, and that's going to go to these two because this is the load, and this is my line coming in, which is going to go to here, and the ground to ground, obviously. All my wire nuts are nice and tight. Now to fit all of these up into the box. Now it's time to turn the breaker on, and hopefully I don't blow anything up. Keep in mind, I will switch these labels so that they are labeled appropriately. Light by the furnace came on, that's a good sign. Thanks for watching. Again, this is not a how-to video. I'm just a homeowner doing a small electrical upgrade in my home. If you've seen anything that I did wrong, please point it out. All I do ask is try and be useful. Don't just say code says you can't do that or that's against code. Actually cite the code and back up what you're saying if you're going to comment on some type of code violation. That's very helpful to the viewers and myself as I'm always trying to improve. Different jurisdictions have different rules that may vary from the NEC, National Electrical Code. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name is Dave. This fix is done.